So based on what you just said, I think a lot of people want to know what is the position of PwC Luxembourg today in the tax debate.
So yeah, the whole tax debate that's been going on for some time now, it's obviously a big debate. It's a global debate. We see a global tax system that for many years has been broadly recognised, including by PwC, as being not fit for purpose. You know, with taking into account globalization, taking into account technology, the global tax system as is was built for a very different business model to what we see today. We also see really a significant shift from a society perspective in terms of the acceptance of tax planning, tax advice, what that needs to look like, and this whole question of fairness. You know, at PwC, we've globally had a code of conduct around tax advice since 2005. We've taken that on board in Luxembourg. Obviously, we enhanced that back in 2009, and we've been very, very diligent in terms of applying that code. I think, you know, when you look at how we approach the whole tax debate, from a technical perspective, clearly, you know, our code is sort of elaborating that we need to see purpose behind any tax planning that we see. Obviously, it needs to be within the rules, but we also need to see a purpose. And I think we stand behind everything that we've done in terms of, yes, there is a business purpose, there is a business rationale behind what's happening, or what happened. We also make sure that this isn't just the decision of a lone tax partner. We understand and have understood for many years the sensitivity around this, and so we've had basically a tax panel in place to just ensure that we have a firm level view on what we deem to be acceptable, to make sure that there is that purpose behind the transaction. And what we need to remember is that obviously when you look at the global tax system, you know, there's many anomalies which really leads to a drag on positive societal impact. So, you know, when you look at investment today, you know, when you go through global investment, you very quickly end up in a scenario where entities, where investors are suffering double or even triple levels of tax because of the global system we have in place today. And, you know, part of a key role of the tax planning around that is to make sure that tax burden to the investor is actually being sort of managed in a way that is actually fair to them, and that doesn't stifle new investment. So that's one example where tax planning, I think, within the context of today's world, as the tax systems are built, there has to be a role for some sort of tax planning to take away the inefficiencies that exist. But clearly, there's a whole fairness debate that needs to be taken into account, and clearly initiatives such as BEPS are moving into the space where actually we start to move towards a global tax system that works, that actually where you can get to a much more level playing field in terms of how tax policies are applied.